Yeah, people in Maverick there again. And on my mind today is this issue, this controversy, this bombshell that American sprint ace Sha'Carri Richardson tested positive for marijuana. Oh dear. You know, so the world is disappointed. But I am even more so disappointed because you see me am one of the biggest Sha'Carri Richardson fan. I'm a big fan of hers. I like her personality, I like her brashness, I like her confidence. So you know, so me even more disappointed than the people who don't like her. Because you know, some people didn't want to compete, if get beaten. Me never look on it that way there. I am a big fan of this girl. Not just her personality. Me like sports stars, you know, who back up them performance with expressiveness and confidence. Me don't like boring sports stars. Yeah, so I like this girl persona from day one. And so it is even more shocking and even more disappointing for me, bitterly disappointing, right, that she's not going to be competing at the Olympic Games. That race between she and Shelley and Fraser Price was shaping up to be the race of the Olympic Games. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen. But there are a couple of more things why I'm a big fan of this girl. In terms of her race execution, she runs effortlessly fast. I don't think I've ever seen a sprinter run so effortlessly fast. You see what I'm saying? Watch a combination. Effortlessly and fast. Yeah? It's almost like when she's running fast, she just do it by second nature. And she's still young enough in the game. She don't have a perfect start to her races yet. But in terms of how effortlessly she executes, it draws me to her as a massive potential in 100-meter sprinting. And the next thing and even more fundamental thing, she have a thing named top-end speed. Yeah? It's not a normal top-end speed this girl have. Yeah? There are a couple of things about top-end speed. For one, for me already, again, top-end speed is the equivalent of skill for a footballer. When you say a footballer with skill, it's like an X factor added to the other areas of competence, right? So another analogy is in cricket. When you see a batsman who is a stylist in cricket, that's an X factor to his areas of competence that he already has. Now it's the same thing I see with top-end speed. And another thing about top-end speed is that what it allows you to compensate for the possibility of imperfect execution in the first part of your race. So let us say she has a little slip at the block or she never had the most perfect start. Because of her top-end speed, she's able to compensate for that mistake in the latter stages of the race. If you don't have that top-end speed and you slip at the block or you have a less than perfect start, more than likely you're dead in a 100-meter race because the margin for error is minuscule. So those are the things about her race execution that impresses me. I am, as I say, again, I can't say it too often, I'm a big fan of Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, as it relates to the fact that it's ganja she take now, marijuana, traces of cannabis in our sample. I don't know if that gives her a pass, basically. I don't know if that gives her a pass. And even the excuses that she gave, the reasons she gave about, having to cope with her biological mother's death so close to the trial, said she needed something to help her to cope. I don't buy that something there. I don't buy them kind of argument there. She's an adult. She's 21 years old. She's an adult. This is a girl who basically had the world at her feet, heading to the Olympic Games, the biggest stage on earth for a sprinter. And she was in pole position to make the world of sprinting hers here and now. So this thing about, you see, I'm kind of sick and tired of people, especially adults, whenever them keep up them foolishness and do these kind of indiscretions and senseless kind of actions, they blame it on mental illness, they blame it on depression, they blame it on the fact that the mother never hugged them up and kissed them and tell them, say them love them, they blame it on them father being upset. Me no matter something. You're an adult, and all adults, all of us, we have our stories. We've been through issues. So at some point, they need to take responsibility. And I think Sha'Carri Richardson need to take responsibility for this imbecilic and senseless action. She must have known that she's now an Olympic athlete. You can't be smoking weed, see, in tandem with being the champion of the world in sprinting. She know the testing regime, she know the testing regiment in her sport. She cannot be smoking weed. There's no excuse to do what she did. Yeah? And I don't know. Look here. I try to think about a decent way to say this now. This girl is not a very smart girl. She don't strike me as a smart girl. Super talented, like her personality, like her talent, but she don't seem to be very smart. And this decision is indicative of her level of decision making. Me don't like it, brother. See, this is inexplicable and this is inexcusable at this point in her life. And looking at her and listening to her story, hearing where she's from and the kind of upbringing she had, you can't be coming from them position in your life and then have the world at your feet and do this and make this kind of dumb decision. This is a stupid decision. In Jamaica, we call them girl a chicken head. It's a chicken head decision she make. Me not lie to you, me not go around it. And me I tell you, I come from a position where I am one of her biggest fans. But it's a chicken head decision she make. What color her hair have now? Her hair, she's a dumb blonde. Sha'Carri Richardson. It's a dumb blonde decision she make. She must have known the potential consequences before she did what she did. See? So you should not get no sympathy from me, especially from a die-hard fan. You ever hear about letting down your fans? Sha'Carri Richardson, you let down the Maverick. I mean, a Jamaican and Shelly and Fraser Price, I mean, that carry for win the race. But we wanted to see this race. And when you think about it, at one point, I think to myself, it's better if this girl did test positive for some kind of performance-enhancing drugs because of the imminent fear of facing a Shelly and Fraser Price in such imperious form. That we talk about why your mother had died a few days earlier, you decided to go smoke some weed? No! For this kind of life that she's chosen to become a professional athlete, you've got to bear some responsibility for your actions. You've got to make sacrifices. And if smoking weed was one of your habits or one of your hobbies, then you need to stop smoking weed now. Simple and straight. And so close to the Olympics. No, this girl is a dumb blonde. I mean, I have to beat her bad on it. Sha'Carri Richardson. You're chicken head. You're chicken head. The Maverick say you're chicken head. Remember,